Thank you to the Clintons for bending the knee. And I'm going to shift my tone in a second, my friends, because we just took down the Trumps and the fucking elephants in the room, by which I mean those disgusting Ellisons. Oh my gosh, people. Happy Rosh Hashanah. I'm Sean MP, no longer the Invisible Man. Wow, you think this was gonna go down with me and Vic Mensa on the clock? Honey. Honey, 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 honey. Honey, 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 honey. Right? I crossed over to the river of Jordan. I am Jewish. How many times do I have to say this, Wests? Right? My father's mother, Josephine Henrietta Schwartz Kennedy. My father told me in a joke, you take out the T. It's a Jewish name. You put the T in. Right, people? It's a Gentile name. Not true, my friends. Not true. Gong bell! Gong bell. Gong bell, right? I was like, Papa don't preach, but Dad, the Ellisons are trying to play the Top Gun play, but we've been playing that since Top Gun came out. What was the make on the long gun, Jesus? Thank you, Jordan Roth and Richie Jackson Gay Dad. Trump made two colossal errors, my friend. One, trying to link autism to Tylenol. Guess what, people? Some of us don't want to cure autistic kids. Just like some of us didn't want to be cured of being gay. Just like some of us don't want to be cured of trans identity. Whatever the fuck that is, my friends, because trans means crossing the boundaries, and I'm Sean MP Bardo. Man, thank you, Javier Bardem. Penelope Cruz, Scarlett Johansson, Emily Stone. I'm SAG, my friends. And Trump was booted from Tinseltown, just like fucking Barry Weiss was. Barry Weiss, right, Zoran? I mean, talk about AI. They can't even autocorrect Zoran Mamdani's name, the next mayor of New York City, right? Damn. Wow. The Ellisons don't know how Hollywood works. It's run by New Yorkers. C'est moi. Say more. Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Drew Barrymore, Mark Zuckerberg, Kate Blanchett, same birthday. 12 days after my beloved Emmys, right? Eve Jean. Here's the thing I forgot to put in my latest Substack, my friends, right? I'm Sean MP. I own the University of Virginia. I forgot to say, right, Jesus? Let me put the light on. Let me show you how I learned to do lighting. I learned it from Arthur, and now the kids in El Condado de Los Angeles copy moi. Sí. Soy yo, Sean MP, un bad bunny y me. Me, myself and I. Here we go. Here we go. Take me out. Take me out for a coloring date, yo. Take me out part 2. Right? I ask again, what was the make? This is how a star is born. What was the make on the long gun Mr. Robinson used to quote unquote assassinate Charlie Kirk in the Israelis' bad day? A Mauser. Isn't that a fucking mouse catcher? F-14 Tomcat. David Ellison, I was like, Nepo baby, right? The letters I see, right? Talk about corruption of the highest order, Jesus, right? You can't do that on television. Cut me out, right? People, a new era is here. Israel passé. Happy Rosh Hashanah, I say. I'm Sean MP. I'm Jewish. I have so much time. And I have, what, Dad? Less than 100 in the bank. Could I have another mill, please? You see, I'd like to kick it with Ryan Seacrest. And they played Misty for me at El Teatro de Vista. Soy Quentin Tarantino. También soy Sean MP, el Trojan Horse, a.k.a. Roman Anti-Camera. Thank you, Thelma Golden. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, Christina Sharp. Thank you, Sia Baby, for seeing me. And hey, Scissor Sisters. Talk about a long evolution, baby. The Trumps are trying to hand the keys to the TikTok algorithm to Oracle, which is like giving the keys, not like, excuse me, it is, in fact, literally giving the keys to Bibi Netanyahu. Now, here's the thing that I don't understand, my friends, right? I'm practicing. I'm previewing my material for the Prov tomorrow. I read my Prov. I highly encourage you to, too. Why would the Chinese give Israel the keys to their proprietary trade? What now? Paul Krugman, does this make any sense, bro? Especially when the pretext for the sale of TikTok was the national security risk of China. And Israel is a far bigger national security risk, considering that country, I use lightly, is a failed state. And here's where I say, I don't give a fuck, Clintons, right? You know who were horribly repressed for exercising their freedom of speech? The fucking students of Columbia University. Thank you, Mom Donnies. 2 generations of Ellison certainly do not stand a chance against 2 generations of Kennedys, plus the fucking author of The Invisible Man, Ralph Ellison, can you see me now? Can you hear me now, Hollywood? I say again, this is how a star is born, and I am changing my voice. Thank you to all my novios. Si, nueve. Mi musicale nueve. And the Ellisons certainly don't stand a chance against. Excuse me, I'm ahead of myself. I gotta breathe. My therapist is CIA. I'm gonna call this Honeypot. Oh, you guys just walked right into it, Ellisons. Oh my god. They gotta get slimed, my friends. That's what I'm gonna say when I go back to teach in Pasadena by Big Bang Alley later this week, right? Happy Equinox and Rosh Hashanah, I say. I'm Sean MP. Subscribe. For the win, my friends. A doll's house of their own again and again and again and again. But for me, actually, I think it's sexier and more true to form if I say, because this activity of mine, 15 minutes a day on the Sean MP plan. This, I understand now what has happened. Thank you, Arthur and Rodrigo. Ooh, I'm in a love triangle, baby. It takes two men to satisfy me. Who am I, Samantha Jones? Ooh, and I'm Carrie. It's true. I'm no Miranda. I don't think with my head anymore. I feel with my pussy, baby. Meow, cat found. Meow, cat found. Cat found. Cat found. Meow, cat on a hot tin roof. Meow. Right, Barry Weiss thinks she's fucking cool because this is called a roast, my friends. Barry Weiss thinks she's fucking cool because she interviewed a senile Woody Allen. Coup de chance? Who cares what fucking Woody Allen thinks now? Right? Even the fucking New York Times tried to drag Woody Allen, right? That's why fuck you, HBO, right? Because here's the thing, the Ellisons are supposed to have TikTok. They're supposed to have Paramount. And they're supposed to have WBD now. And bro, this dude's supposed to be a populist. No, blackmail, Trump. They got major shit on Trump, right? Remember, that dude pissed on people. I read it in the news. Yeah, I read it in the news. Yeah, people are so afraid of Trump. It's like what Hillary said, right? And here I'll circle back to you, girlfriend, as I bring this to a close. It's true. I'm Deep Throat Part 2, people. No longer hiding in plain sight. She's like, as if Nixon, rather, talking about Trump, was live tweeting his every criminal move. That is exactly the situation that we're in right now, and it's because the United States has been captured by the Israeli state. Right? What is that phrase, Nate Silver? There's no longer any more good moves for the United States or Israel to play here. Right? They're out of the game. The Trumps did it. The exact opposite of Make America Great Again. They Titanic the fuck out of the United States of America. And it was great because I was able to take down my childhood villain, Donald Trump. I had such cognitive dissonance, my friends. True story. The story I will tell for the rest of my life. I had such cognitive dissonance. This is what I'm talking about, people, right? I'm going to tell this to you all at the Improv. I had such cognitive dissonance when Donald Trump became the president that I started doing crystal meth because I read that dude's book, The Art of the Deal, in Syosset, fucking New York, and knew that dude was a phony even then. And I was like age 5. So the idea that this dude would then become the president, right? It's my destiny, my friends, to dethrone Donald Trump. I do it every time I take a shit. That's alchemy, right? But Donald Trump, every time he speaks, he takes a shit. That's reverse alchemy, my friends, right? Ugh. Meconium. You gotta get that shit out of your system. You don't want to inhale it. God damn, I'm a PhD. I've got a doctorate in philosophy and a pretty huge dick. It's a mindset, people. Just say no to AI, right? What did Nancy Reagan say? This is your brain on drugs. Fucking Christ. I already won my Oscar. It's mine. Who do you think I play in chess? Right? Pfft. Finito. Capiche? I'm Sean MP. Ciao for now.